Welcome to the Orchid Advisors Compliance Training Series, Electronic Records. In 2016, the ATF released a ruling 2016-1 specifying the requirements for using electronic acquisition and disposition records. The use of electronic records can be a great benefit, especially for high-volume entities. Industry personnel should be very careful about implementing electronic record keeping without also implementing strong data entry, manipulation, and quality assurance controls. Record retention requirements. A poorly designed electronic process can destroy a good record-keeping system much faster than a paper process. That being said, the following rules, as stated in Ruling 2016-1, apply. Licensed manufacturers and importers must maintain permanent records of importation, manufacture, and other acquisition of firearms. Licensed manufacturers and importers are required to maintain disposition records for 20 years after the disposition. If a Form 4473 is filled out and the firearm is ultimately not conveyed, the 4473s must be retained for 5 years after the NICS check. Retention period guidelines can be found in the National Shooting Sports Center, or NSSF, FFL Record Retention Reference Guide. It is critical to define specific parameters for handling record modifications, whether driven by routine administrative errors and/or operational errors, such as a wrong gun in box or extra shipments. Other record modifications, such as record deletions, theft, lost or found records, and trace records, need to be properly annotated and segregated. Best practices would dictate that a committee be established to handle these issues. Records should be accurate at the point in time information is entered. Therefore, processes should be designed, for example, at the point of shipment and receipt to validate all serial numbers. Records may be maintained in electronic format without seeking approval from the ATF, provided that they meet all of the requirements stated in Ruling 2016-1. Examples include: all data entered into the computer system must be recorded into the database and cannot be capable of being edited or modified at a later date without generating an audit trail. The system must meet the regulatory requirements for recording pertinent information. The system must allow queries by serial number, acquisition date, and name of the manufacturer and/or importer. The FFL must periodically print all records from the system. Printouts may include antique firearms but cannot include other merchandise. However, antique firearms must be identified as A&T in the firearm type column. The name and FFL number if licensee, or name and address if non-licensee of the supplier or consignor, and the purchaser or transferee must be included in the computer data. An ATF Form 4473 transaction number may be used in lieu of the address for recording the transfer of a firearm to a non-licensee if the Form 4473 is filed numerically. The system cannot rely upon invoices or other paper or manual systems to provide any of the required information. All required records, including acquisition and disposition records, must remain at the licensed premises. There is a limited set of software packages already designed to help achieve this conversion to electronic record keeping. Larger companies may want to consider integrating their inventory management or warehouse management systems with serialized record keeping, provided that all other provisions of ATF's 2016-1 ruling are met. In addition, extensive internet technologies now exist that can perform the same functionality via the web with storage in the cloud. Technically, records stored in the cloud are not on premises as required by the ruling. However, this challenge can be overcome by ensuring that records are appropriately backed up by an information security professional and that files are automatically downloaded and stored on company networks. Records may be stored in the cloud, provided they are backed up to a local server on the FFL premise daily, and that the other conditions stated in the ruling are also met. Thank you for watching this segment of our video training series.